Council for Kevin, I don't think, because not CSPD, but burn by one, like.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting of the LWIA 23 Quarterly Consortium meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Chris Casey, Kevin Busher, Adam Flack for Carol Lynn, Nancy Purdy,
Here.
Carol Baloo, here. Lori Jennings for away, Rob Jackson, Rick Stroll,
Here.
Connie Walden.
Tony, do we have a quorum? Two. Number 2 is review and approval of minutes for the March 21st, 2022 consortium meeting and the June 20th meeting. Please take a look at those notes and see if there are any additions or corrections. If there are no additions or corrections, I would take a motion to approve those meeting minutes. Thank you, Casey. And a second?
I'll be glad.
Thank you, Gerald.
Stepping up to the first meeting.
We have to do roll call vote.
No roll call.
Okay, so we have a motion by Casey, a second by Gerald. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3, conflict of interest disclosure. If anyone sees a conflict of interest on the agenda, please speak now. Seeing none, we will move on to reports. Business service team update. Ms. Jamie, can you provide a business service team update for us?
Yes, I'd love to. Hello, guys. Welcome. So the LWIA 23 business service team met virtually on July 19th and August 14th. We are planning an in-person meeting at the Cluthy Center here in Effingham on September 21st, Wednesday. September is Workforce Development Month, so we've talked about some activities with the business service team. There will be job fairs for LWIA 23 and 24 on September 28th at Kaskaskia College. There was a job fair at Gateway Convention Center, I think, on September 14th. There will be, I'm sure, other job fairs coming up in the next few days, weeks as well. And then we talked about October being Manufacturing Month and what activities are going on. So Manufacturing Day is being held on October 6th here at the Effingham Event Center. That is geared towards high school students. 14 area high schools will attend. They'll have a chance to learn about manufacturing careers and I believe even tour some facilities as well. That is hosted by the Effingham Chamber, I think, and there will be a networking opportunity from 12 to 1 at the event center that day as well. Then DCO's Team Red will host a Manufacturing Month webinar on October 13th. And if I'm not mistaken, our very own Nate Carlson will be a panelist on that webinar. Then October is also National Disability Employment Month. So if you know of any disability-friendly employers, be sure to let anyone from the business service team know so that we can coordinate and showcase all the awesome things that they're doing for people with disabilities. Then we talked about November 14th through the 18th being National Apprenticeship Week. So there will be a National Apprenticeship Week panel and signing at Lakeland College on November 16th, and that will be hosted by our very own Nate Carlson. Then just general partner updates that have been discussed at the last couple meetings. Team Red talked about tourism awards going to Paris, Illinois, then an MTO, and forgive me, but I don't remember exactly what that means. Some MTO going to Centralia in Florida. Tony, if that rings a bell, feel free to speak up and save me there. Yeah. I don't remember, sorry. Then Effingham Regional Career Academy talked about How Explore ERCA is the very first class going through the Career Academy, and that is already up and running, and that's happening since there's not yet a building for ERCA. It's happening out of Patterson. They were gracious enough to lend some space to house that first class. New York University is a new member on our business service team, as they are representing a grant that they're working on supporting the transition of re-entry population across our area. So they are planning 400 individuals are in training right now in 6 facilities across Southern Illinois, so that upon release, they will be able to seamlessly join the workforce. All of the adult ed partners were reporting on being busy with orientation and the new school year. IDES reported out on the new generation of JobLink, and I think that is up and going. So if you have not yet, check out illinoisjoblink.com. And then apprenticeships, there's a roundtable in the works for November, where we will be able to meet with industry partners to implement some talent pipeline management principles and target apprenticeship opportunities. Any questions about the business service team? I'm sorry? The industry roundtable, it looks like we're scheduling something for November with a focus on the healthcare industry. And there at that roundtable, we will learn about pain points from the businesses in that industry and some of the data that we should collect based on talent pipeline management principles. Nate's currently undergoing some talent pipeline management training. I will probably be doing some additional training later this year, but it is applying the concept of having a very streamlined supply chain that you typically think of with like manufacturing and TDL, applying that concept towards humans in the context of looking at the talent pool that we are developing. And how do we get that pipeline to the right places? How, starting as young as kindergarten, how are we building the most highly skilled and effective workforce we can? And how do we get them to their chosen career paths as quickly as possible?
MTO, is that moving to opportunity? Is that a HUD?
I don't think so. I just have it in my notes, and I wrote these long enough ago that I don't recall. And I don't think it had to do with HUD.
Any additional questions for Jamie on the business service team? I will add a little bit more about manufacturing trades and skills day. It is held October 6th. We do meet with the kids here first thing in the morning. We get on buses. They will make 3 visits to different manufacturers in the area. There will probably be somewhere around 250 kids from the 14 high schools. They will be mostly juniors and seniors that will be attending. We will also be awarding through door prizes, etc., 3 credit hour tuition waivers for students who are from college.
Certain classes to participate in that, or how did the kids get chosen?
If it was, I would advise them to go and talk with guidance counselors. If they're not hearing about it in a class that they're in right now, I'd have them talk with their guidance counselors and see if it's something that they can get into. Usually the guidance counselors are the ones that pick which class goes or the students that go. So anything else on business servicing? Tony, can you fill us in on the One Stop reopening today?
Yay. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of probably let Casey and Elaine talk more about it, but we have been closed at the One Stop here in Effingham for what, 2 years? It's been May of 2020, something like that, 2.5 years. And today was the final opening. We went through a process with the Department of Employment Security to come up with a reopening plan and how the process is going to work. If somebody walks in, the DES is still not taking walk-ins. They're taking things by appointment only. So we've got to differentiate who's going to come see Title I versus see Casey's folks. So we came up with a process. DES approved it. And today was our first day of open doors in 2.5 years. So if you guys want to talk more about how the process is going or whatever, feel free. But I think it's just
What I've seen is
we finally got there after a long time.
Does
Yeah.
everyone know why we had to go through the process to ask IDES? They're the leaseholder. So they get to decide, they get to, they call the shots, but they're the leaseholder of the building. Would that be the best way to
I think
describe
that's
it?
the best way. There's other areas too, I think, that they're not the leaseholder, but they're still not taking walk-ins. They kind of separate themselves somehow, and is that accurate or not? Like in Champaign or Springfield, there's one place that has, like, the one stop has two doors, so
Oh, I think that's
the one side's open, but the ES side is not open.
Springfield's that way too.
Is it? Okay, I think it's probably the two that I've heard about.
Right, their doors will lock, there's two different doors.
Right, and you can get to the side of one side and the DRS side and whoever else is in the one stop. But DES is just not taking walk-ins.
So a client or a customer still has to go through the appointment process with IDES, but if they want to come in and see Elaine, Title I with any of her folks, they can come inside the building and not have to have an appointment.
So yeah, that's a wonderful, been a long time coming. But we'll see when DES wants to come and play again. And allow
Look
people.
at me.
We don't hang you on the phone.
No. You are DES now. Sorry. But
She's
anyway.
gonna start sending Jill to the meetings.
I know, yeah. And then.
And one of the things, we had to have a full-time person up front. That was their job, just to greet us when they come in, and we just now hired somebody, so she started last week, so she's going to keep the tally on who comes in, and she's got a form, and we're having her fill out profile sheets, so we'll have basic information. So it should look really good. The location in that too.
That building, we're no longer there.
Right, I think this is really the.
We moved to campus. We have a workforce development center out there, really, but not like a resource room. We have computers. It's just our kind of administrative offices. Has nothing to do with client bearing, folks come in.
The client, but no, the client goes to, we have an office in downtown Neptune on 16th Street, I believe. Yeah. So we have a regular WIA office, just have people in it. It's about 2 doors down to the Y.
We turn to go to the Y, it's just on the block.
Right behind, right behind Swenson's, kind of 321 office on Broadway and 16th Street. Right, just north of that, same building, a couple doors down.
We'll buy and pick it out.
Yeah, and then like the ones for Crawford and stuff, they're still.
Crawford is in Robinson on the main,
And it's still.
and it's still there. The Omni office is still there, however, we're having trouble keeping people in Omni. But it's still there. And then Cumberland can go to Memphis. Go one day a week. So it's basically the same as it was, other than the Memphis office that moved down. They've been open. I mean, none of the offices have been closed except ours because we,
If you don't mind, I'm going to repeat that because I don't know that the microphone picked it up over there. But it sounds like the one stop in Effingham is reopened as of this week for walk-in Title I services. But IDES services are still offered online and with appointment and phone calls. But all of the CEFS satellite locations, I guess you would call them, have been open for walk-in service for quite a while. And even throughout the pandemic, open for, at the very least, appointment only. And then quite a while ago, reopened for walk-in service as well. Okay. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you for recapping that, Jamie. Does anyone have any questions about? Any questions about one stop? Seeing none, we'll move on to one-stop operator report. Lori typically would give that report. We did not meet this month.
she didn't give me a report. She just said to let everybody know that he had hired somebody. for that building and so pretty much the same for one, but
Again, I'm going to restate because it is not leaving. It zooms in on the talker, and right now it's been zoomed in on me, so I don't think it's picking you guys up. So talk louder, Chris. But what
I
Elaine
rarely hear that.
what Elaine said was the one-stop operator report was they did not meet this last month, but they did hire someone full-time last week, and they were open for walk-in services this week.
Thank you. Number 4 on our agenda is partner reports. So open it up for any of the partners to give reports.
Yeah, it picked you up.
Thank you.
Rob, I'm going to throw you under the bus because you're new, but this is Rob Jackman. He is the new Perkins Coordinator. I'm not sure of your exact title, Perkins Coordinator. Yeah, new Perkins Coordinator at IECC. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here at the consortium. Is there anything that you want to share that's going on right now?
Not currently.
Okay.
Just business as usual is new for me, so I'm learning the ropes. Spending our money, we're reaching as many kids. Been working closely with recruiters. That we have 4 recruiters for IECC, each of the campuses, which is nice. Just kind of I'm feeding back what we're buying for Perkins to the recruiters, so they're having some talking points to utilize during those interactions they're going to have with the guidance counselors and teachers, get those kids excited about possible new career. So
Awesome. Good stuff.
I'm based out of Wabash Valley, but I'm a district employee, so I visit all 4 campuses.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Rob. First, welcome. Glad you could make it today. Does anyone have any questions about Perkins or just an understanding of Perkins? Because if you don't, I'm just going to put Rob on the spot and say, can you share any information about Perkins if anyone has any questions?
I'll do my best to answer.
Give me the 101. That's the first time I've heard of it.
So Perkins is a career and technical education grant from the government, and then that in turn is the federal government dictates it to the state of Illinois. Illinois has each of the community colleges. There's the K-12 that also has it as well. But for the community colleges, it's monies to enhance the programs and to develop the curriculum of the career technical education, anywhere from nursing to welding. So it's pretty broad. So Perkins is really good for maybe supplies, equipment. Big purchases would be software that like say we just started a physical therapy assistant program at Wabash Valley, and let's say that they need simulator dummies. So that is really good for actually purchasing those units. And then a lot of times it's also personal development training for those PTAs to learn how to use those, or excuse me, the instructors to learn how to use those for their PTA students. So they can create a good environment and they'll see what the job should look like when they get into the workforce. So that's how it kind of ties into the LWIA and Perkins together.
I like to refer to WIOA as Perkins' bigger older brother on steroids because they are very similar, but Perkins is really focused on the institution and getting individuals ready for entering the workforce. And then WIOA just takes that the step beyond and touches everything even beyond the institution. So there's a lot of effort to make sure that Perkins and WIOA aligns as often as possible, like even in our regional plan, getting together, having partners at the table so that we're all working towards the common goal of getting a skilled workforce.
Other partner reports? I'll report on adult education. Adult education is offered GED programming. That is one of the big pieces that we offer through our adult education program at Lakeland College. We have that orientations monthly, so we'll have another monthly orientation in October. We have classes in, and boy, I hope I can remember all the places. Harris, Marshall, Effingham, Mattoon, Sullivan, Shelbyville, Hannah. I think I have them all. Thought there was 8, but I only named 7. So we offer GED classes in all of those locations. We do have some day classes, and we also have evening classes in all of the locations that I listed. We also offer ESL programming, which is English as a second language. We have those classes in Effingham, Mattoon, and Marshall. We are looking at partnering with a business in the Moultrie County area that we will be providing ESL on site. Newest ESL site or classroom that we have is on Eastern Illinois campus. So we have partnered with EIU and we are offering ESL classes at a classroom right next door to our GED classroom. We did have another location in Charleston during the pandemic. We were kind of, I'll say, asked that we were told we could not have classes in person. We still wanted to be able to meet with students when we could. And Eastern was gracious enough to allow us to use one of their classrooms and now 2 and 3 of their classrooms so that we can offer some assistance to other students in the Charleston area besides just university students. It's been a great partnership. Yes, I can get you some. Yeah, because we've got some general information flyers, and then we've got some flyers that provide a lot of good information. What I can also do is share the website with you. I can email you where it has all of the orientation based everything. Any other partner updates? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business, new business. Don't really have anything in this category, Tony. Is there anything I need to be looking at for old business, new business?
No, not really. As far as-
Any public comments for number 6 on our agenda?
Great stuff.
Nate, during public comment, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You wanna talk about the Apprenticeship Symposium that we just had?
Absolutely. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but on Tuesday, we held an event with the Effingham County Chamber of Commerce, where we welcomed 40 to 50 employers and educators and talked a lot about apprenticeships. We had a fantastic employer panel with several of our apprenticeship employers, the Equity, Quad Graphics, North American Lighting, and Free Sisters Logistics. And they got to talk about what the apprenticeship process looks like towards the beginning of the process, where a lot of our companies are right now, with me still getting registered, and obviously North American Lighting, Quad Graphics having had apprenticeship programs for years and years. They kind of spoke to the benefits that they've seen over the longevity of those programs. So it was a really exciting event. We had really good turnout, and we were all tired afterwards, but we spread some good information about apprenticeships, and we've already had emails rolling in to keep me busy for a while. So.
Good news, thank you. Last chance for public comment from anyone else. Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Casey. I'll second. That's Chris. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Remember, our next meeting is December 12th, 2022, 4 p.m. Same place. Thank you.